Hello and welcome to this week's edition of The Unorthodox Vegan. My name is Sean Gold, and this week, episode 64, we're going to try another variation of vegan steak. It's going to be similar to one we did in episode 22, but I'm going to be doing a little bit different. It does have lentils, and I've mixed up some green and red lentils, and I've made it into, I just cooked them, pre-cooked them. And I'm going to be using vital wheat gluten, of course, and of course, nutritional yeast. That's the three basic things. Or you can either use, instead of lentils, you can use tofu. But for this steak recipe, I'm going to be using the lentils. I'm going to be, then there's seasoning stuff that goes in it, and that's all it's, we're going to get into that. But a couple of things I'm going to be pointing out is I'm going to be putting in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. I was to offset the wheat taste that can come from some of the wheat gluten, if it's depending on the type of wheat gluten you use. I'm also putting into this recipe, which came from It Doesn't Taste Like Chicken, which is Samantha or Sam Turnbull. I'm going to be putting in some jackfruit. It'll give it a little bit of texture like I do for the chicken wings. And I hope that will be better. Give it a little shot. Anyway, I am going to be taking this a little bit apart, taking out the pieces that are the hard parts around the seeds. Just take those out because the seeds don't taste great. And these little hard parts just pop out. You can just pop them out, get rid of them. They're not going to be good. You can find them just by feeling. You can use then I'm going to use a fork to mash up the rest of it. So well, now that I've removed most of the seed pods, now my next task is to just break up the harder pieces or the end pieces, which are a little bit stringier, and want to get as much of that fiber as possible. So I'm just smashing it up there with a fork, trying to separate it, and I'm going to squeeze it, and you'll see get a lot of liquid coming out of that. I've got the jackfruit in the bowl. Now I'm going to put in 1.5 cups of wheat gluten, 1 cup of lentils, cooked lentils. And it was a mix. And the recipe called for 6 tablespoons of water. Just put 5 tablespoons of water in there now, and also putting in whatever's left over there. And I'll be putting in 1 tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. And the reason for this is to remove some of that wheat flavor, that wheat taste that comes from the nutritional yeast, or from the wheat gluten. So 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, one teaspoon of chili powder, a half teaspoon of liquid smoke, and a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. That's it. Now it's all got to mix this together. As you can see, I formed it into a bit of a ball here, or a loaf shape. Rolling these things out into a round shape, roughly, and making them into a steak shape, or whatever, about 1/2 inch thick. And then these are going to go into a steamer for 25 minutes. Next up, we're going to make the marinade, which is 1/4 cup of water mixed with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. We're just going to mix this up a little bit, put it into a bag, Ziploc seal bag, and then that's what we're going to be putting the steaks into afterwards to marinate. I've steamed the steaks. They have been steamed already. So I'm going to put them into this bag and put in the marinade into here. And we're going to let these marinate for about 1/2 hour at least, maybe even a couple hours before we cook them. Okay, we're going to do a little test here. Yesterday, I made up a batch of the steak. This is one of the ones I did today, which had the jackfruit in it. So there's going to be some differences. I want to try to see what the two are like. I'm going to put them in an air fryer. I'm going to cook them up in the air fryer, and for texture and how they look. Well, I got to tell you that the one from yesterday looks better, but frankly, we'll see how it goes. So it's got a firm texture, just cutting into it. So this one doesn't look as good. So let's see how this one goes. The jackfruit one tastes better. Just the regular one without the jackfruit and without the apple cider vinegar doesn't quite taste as good. I think the apple cider vinegar is a good thing to have in there. Okay, that's it for this week's edition of the Unorthodox Vegan. My name is Sean Gold. If you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me at my email address up here, which is vrcompanions@gmail.com. And of course, please follow me on my YouTube channel at the underscore unorthodox underscore vegan. Until next time, have yourself a great day.